The defending champion Dodgers force a Game 7 thanks to a 3-run third capped off by Mookie Betts. 2 RBI single, a slump buster. He had been 3 for 23. So we've got a Game 7. Who's starting for the Blue Jays? Here's manager John Schneider.
That's the 2 best words in sports, Game 7. No better guy to have on the mound to kind of navigate the emotions, the stuff. Max has been getting ready for Game 7 when he knew he was pitching Game 3. So all the confidence in the world in him and everyone tomorrow.
Are you ready for this? The last time the World Series went to a Game 7 was in 2019 when the Nationals played the Astros. Max Scherzer started that game for Washington on Saturday evening. Saturday evening, we are going to have a full circle moment. The Blue Jays will face the Dodgers in Game 7 of the 2025 World Series, and Max Scherzer is starting for Toronto. Are you kidding me? This is why baseball is romantic. This is why things are poetic. 41 years old, Max Scherzer will be the oldest pitcher in MLB history to start a Game 7 of the World Series. You think I love this stuff? Yeah, I love this stuff. I eat this stuff up. I eat this stuff for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's go. Let's set it up. Game 7 of the World Series back here with Bobby V, Lewis Brinson, Will Middlebrooks in the wall. I'm pumped for this storyline. Okay? I mean, Will,
yes.
Will, are you kidding me right now?
Yes.
Max Scherzer starting in a Game 7. He was the last one to start in a Game 7 for the Nationals. A World Series they won. They were underdogs in that World Series to the Astros. I mean, look, this is awesome, right? I mean, just think about the moment for Mad Max. We don't know if he's going to retire. He might pitch another season, but like if he goes off into the sunset with this, I'm retiring.
Again? No, this is look, this is, you said it. I mean, this is perfect. This is exactly what we all wanted, and we all had a feeling we were going to Game 7. And you look at the way it lined up when they put him to pitch Game 3, you're going, okay, if this goes 7, we're going to get Scherzer again. Are we going to get Kershaw? Obviously, Kershaw's not going to start. I'd be surprised if the game is close, if we see him. They would love to be ahead and be able to bring him in with a 4 or 5 run lead and let him finish it out if it was poetic and enough for the Dodgers. But Scherzer's going to go. Then you have Bieber who can go. And then you might even see Savage for an inning. If it's a high leverage spot against a guy that can't hit a split, which nobody touched his split last time he pitched. So all hands on deck, right? This is absolutely crazy. And then I'm sure we'll get to the Dodgers, which is going to be interesting how they handle their pitching matchups as well.
I like Scherzer in Game 7. I'm going to tell you guys right now, like I told you guys before when you guys were like, oh, I don't know if Scherzer's the man for this spot. Are you kidding me? I told you guys.
You did.
This guy is crazy enough.
I'm going to give you your flowers on that one.
This guy is crazy enough to go out there and shut down the Monstars and do his thing once again in the World Series to bring it home. If he goes out there and does his thing and shuts them down and they win this game and the Blue Jays win the World Series, Max Scherzer is going to retire. I'm calling it right now.
He'd be a 3-time World Series champion.
I'm gone. I'm not coming back to try to make it happen again. But this is the guy, like John Schneider said, this is a guy that's made for the moment. The emotion, he's going to be able to control him, even though he's going to have that look he's going to have that look in his eye. But at the same time, if I'm the Blue Jays, right, obviously I'm, not the happiest that I'm going to a Game 7 because anything can happen. But if I got this guy on the mound and I got George Springer fighting, scratching and crawling today, man. If I got him, I got Bo Bichette, I got Ernie Clement, I got Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I'm very confident in my team to go ahead and push this thing all the way to the limits and be able to win Game 7. But Max Scherzer's on the mound, man. This is going to be fun, Bobby.
Yeah, indeed. And we'll talk about the starting pitchers, of course, but this is going to be a bullpen situation, and I don't know that the Dodgers have enough. I think that's as shaky of a bullpen as I've ever seen going into a Game 7.
Hot take.
Really? I.e. Game 3?
I.e. Game 3. They pitched good in Game 3. They haven't pitched good in a month collectively.
Okay. Akeem, you think we see Yamamoto warm up?
Why not?
Yeah.
Game 7.
Yamamoto, he pitched today. You'll see Ohtani. You might see Ohtani start. You might see him DH, and then you might see him come back to close. Who knows? It might be a real Game 7 to remember.
Yeah, let me set this up. Let me set this up, okay? So we're sitting here and trying to understand just what Dave Roberts is going to be thinking here, right, for a Game 7. The idea would be better if he has him start this game, right? Because if he enters as a reliever after starting the game as a DH, the Dodgers would lose their DH. So basically what happens then in that situation is then when the pitcher's turn comes up in the order, then you're having to pinch hit every time for the pitcher. So if he enters as a reliever, you don't really want to have that to happen. Unless you put him and he stays in the game as the outfielder, right? You send him to the outfield, he stays in the game, that's fine. But you do not want to lose Ohtani, Will, in this game, however you decide to deploy him in Game 7.
I'm not saying Ohtani can't play the outfield, but he hasn't. He just hasn't done
years.
it. You have good outfielders. Defense matters. Defense has hurt the Dodgers in this series. You don't want to take away from that, even more so. So I think we see Ohtani start on the mound just for that reason, where with the Ohtani rule, then he can go to the DH and hit the rest of the game, not miss any at-bats. It doesn't completely screw up your roster and your lineup and the makeup of it as the game gets on. In a Game 7, you can't take a chance like that.
Listen, man. Ohtani can play the outfield. One.
Yep.
Two, I'm not putting anything past
He
him.
can. You don't
seen
want
him do
him
it.
playing it.
He can definitely
catch.
do. But like you
catch, he could
like
Fly, he can fly.
like you said, Will, though, he hasn't. And this is the World Series. This is a big spot. Again, we don't put it past him that he can't do it. Yeah. But at the same time, I do think that he does maybe end up starting this game because you don't want to play with all the scenarios that could happen if he comes in relief. Only time I would say he comes in to relieve is to close this thing out like he did in the WBC. That's the only way I see him relieving. You need Ohtani, and you want Ohtani's bat in that lineup the entire game, no matter how long this game goes again. So that's just my opinion on it.
Dave Roberts is not going to make the announcement before we go to sleep. So what would you do, Bobby, in this situation?
Beats the heck out of me. I got to wrap my head around this one, big boy. But okay, I know I need an answer to that. What would I do?
How about this? Do you agree with this? Ohtani for 2, Glass down for 5.
Good luck. That's pretty good. If you get that, that's spectacular.
What would you do? I want to hear your take on this.
I have to look at the entire group. I really haven't put myself in that seat. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Would you think about that situation? Ohtani for 2, Glass down for 5, because he only had to throw 3 pitches to get out of that 9th inning.
I would consider that. Again, that's a tough move for a manager to make. Like you said, you have to, see how everybody's feeling. Glasnow's, only threw 3 pitches tonight, so he's definitely, up for, probably throwing in this game, if not starting it. But in my opinion, I think Ohtani starts this game. I think Ohtani... Yeah. Either opener, like you said, maybe 2 innings and then push it to Glasnow and then all hands on deck, Yamamoto for the last. I don't know. It's like I said, all hands on deck. But as a manager, this is a very, very tough decision to make.
You want to make a prediction for Game 7?
Wait, no.
No.
Tomorrow's
Okay,
job. That's my job tomorrow.
You want to make a prediction for Game 7?
No, I'm not making no
Will,
prediction.
you want to make a prediction?
I'll do it.
Yes.
I'll do it.
I'll do it
I'm
too.
not scared.
What do you got?
I'm in the comfort of my own home. What's going to happen to me? All right? Listen, I'm going Blue Jays.
Yep.
I'm going
Me
Blue
too.
Jays too, man.
Blue Jays.
I'm going Blue Jays because of this, because they have more depth. Just because they have Scherzer, they have Bieber, they have Savage. They don't have to lean on the bullpen as much. I don't know how that's going to go for the Dodgers. I don't know what they expect out of Ohtani if they do have him open. I don't know how Glasnow is going to feel after having to get hot and come into this game in that high leverage of a spot. I don't know if he can give you 5. And then you having to cover 3+ innings maybe with that bullpen that you don't necessarily trust, or you're bringing guys that are starters. Maybe Yamamoto comes in after 96 pitches because you don't trust your bullpen. That puts you in a really tough spot. And for that reason, I'm going with the Grinders. I'm going with the kids at home in Toronto to win it.
Also, to Will's point, it seemed like the Blue Jays were not playing for a Game 7, but preparing for a Game 7.
Yes.
The Dodgers, in a sense, they've been piecing things together pretty much. They did not expect for Blake Snell and Ohtani and these guys to kind of get hit around and kind of not do what they did in the CS. Obviously, Yamamoto's been great for them, but I think they sort of kind of been piecing stuff together, and they're not really who's prepared for a Game 7 in a sense. But at the same time, I think, like you said, Will, I think the Blue Jays are definitely more prepared for a Game 7. Like I said, your Savage is on the table. Gosman probably not on the table.
Yep.
You Savage. You got Max Scherzer. You got Bieber. I think your bullpen's more set. You're going to see Varland some sort of way. Varland's getting in this game tomorrow.
I'm writing the script right.
I put some money on that right now.
Okay, well,
Varland's
you know what? I'm writing the script right now. 41-year-old Max Scherzer wins the World Series for the Toronto Blue Jays and sends Clayton Kershaw into retirement.
Wow.
They both retire. Max Scherzer gets the best of his buddy, Clayton Kershaw, and the 41-year-old Mad Max shoves in a Game 7.
If he wins
There it
Game
is.
7, how much is he going to have to turn down next year from the Jays not to come back?
As a special
No, thank
come
you.
He might come back. He might come back. You never know. Hey, we're going to be back for Game 7. Pre-game, post-game coverage. A Game 7, the two best words in sports, Game 7. I'd also argue, because I say this a lot, winning wager, two best words in sports. How about a winning wager in a Game 7? That's awesome. Blue Jays trying to win the World Series for the first time in more than 3 decades. Dodgers looking to go back-to-back for the first time in franchise history. First pitch, Saturday night, 8 Eastern, back in Toronto.